Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer the elemental energy reading for the month of April of 2025 for the elemental energy of fire, this guy right here. And fire covers the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. If you're interested as to why I will read for the elements instead of the zodiac, there's a video in the description. There's also a link to a natal chart. It's probably my favorite one so far that I've used. It's definitely worth checking out if you're interested in that. All the decks and books that I use are also linked in the description if you're interested. If you'd like to book a personal reading, how to do that is in the link down below. It's mysticgenmara.com. I do tarot and energy readings at the moment. There's some other stuff I'm working on, but not quite there yet. Anyway, we'll get started with your I-ching, which for fire we have number 28, the hexagram of excess. Excess, the ridgepole sags. It is favorable to have some goal or destination in view. Success. Overall, fire, this month is definitely going to be a good one for you. That's the direct quote for the full hexagram. And it's basically saying that you don't want anything too big, too heavy in the way right now, because you've got a lot of moving parts that, as long as you stay focused on the actual end game, it's going to go well. It's just going to have to juggle a little bit to get there. So, our bottom line, we start with our foundation down here. For mats, use white rushes, no error. And this is basically saying that, what do we got going on here? Not sure why they say white rushes. Let's take a peek here. Basically, it's saying you don't want your foundation to be cracking, because the foundation line has a big crack in the middle and there's a lot of weight on top of it. So for the mats, use white rushes, no error. Even though there's a lot you feel like's piling on you, you're going to be able to handle it. It just might be a little bit of stress as you process through this next path. Our second place line, the withered willow tree puts forth new shoots. An old man takes to wife a young girl. Everything is favorable. Old willow trees, if there's one green branch, you can actually regrow the tree. You just cut that branch off, put it in soil, and they'll grow. They're very resilient creatures. And the old man takes a young wife. Everything is favorable. There's always a seed of creation. Even if something looks old, even if something looks beaten down and battered, the symbol of the yin yang, the circle with the S in the middle with the two dots, one white, one black, it's the seed of creation. The seed of all good can be born out of evil. The seed of evil can be born out of good. And that's what they're talking about, is there's never really an end to the cycle. It's a constantly evolving, growing experience. And that's where you're at, fire. Our third place line, the ridgepole sags, misfortune. So if you don't have the proper support going forward this month, whether that is friendship, whether that is relationship, whether that is finances, whatever support you're needing, if that's not in place when you get going, they're saying by the middle of the month, this is when that stress load is really going to hit. This is where you need the support of your inner circle, your spouse, your best friend, financial, something like that. They're saying that this is going to be sometime around the middle of the month. Again, these are general readings. Take what works for you, leave the rest. But that's the vibe that's coming up here. So our fourth place line, the ridgepole is upheld, good fortune. Were it otherwise, there would be cause for blame. This is saying that thanks to the support of the people that you have around, you've built that inner working support system. That's where things are going to go well. If you have not put the effort into building the foundation for these plans, fire, then the blame falls on you. And that's what they're saying. So you really want to make sure as you go into this month that you have the people around you that are going to be the most supportive. That doesn't mean they're going to blow fairy dust at you. They're going to be judicially stern, but they're going to be there to help you and help you expand and grow. That's what they're wanting to let you know in this fourth place is, as long as you have the correct kind of support, even when things get rough, you'll still be able to pass through this without any trauma. Our fifth place line: the withered willow tree puts forth a blossom. The old woman takes a vigorous young husband. No blame and no praise. So, again, even with that old willow tree, you're still going to be able to get it to produce some kind of leaf and foliage. And an old woman takes a vigorous young husband. No blame, but also no praise. Just because you took the young, in this instance, that young partner, if you're beyond the age of producing fruit or seeds, there's no blame involved, but there's also no praise, no reward. There's no outcome if you push things too far. And that's what they're saying is, yeah, you can get that tree to produce leaves again. Is it ever going to produce fruit? Well, no, it's a willow. They don't produce fruit. That's the energy that's coming up here, is even though something might seem like it's the right thing to do in that moment, you're not going to have a lot of out of it. It's just going to be a neutral thing for you. So it might look good, but the outcome is not going to be beneficial. So our capstone here, while he was fording the river, the water rose above his head, misfortune, but he was not at fault. So this is something that's coming up for you, fire. And I'm hearing that this month is definitely going to be one of great success overall. Be aware of doing things just because they look like they're the right things, even though your instincts are saying otherwise. I'm hearing right now that this is really strong for you to not take things at face value. Do some digging, do some research. Sorry, trying to get things set down. Make sure that you are focused on the correct course of action. There will be a course that seems right, but there's going to be no fruit bearing from that path, and that's where the floodwaters will overtake you. You're really not at blame here, but it's definitely not going to benefit you. But there's another path where the fruit seeds are planted, where the tree springs forth and life renews itself. That's going to be a little bit more of the difficult path. That's where that weight, that stress level is going to be. They're saying you're going to think in the moment that it's unbearable. It's really not. It's just a matter of correcting the focus at that moment. So let's see if we can get a little more clarity in our tarot reading here. I read week by week. There are approximately 5 weeks in April, so we'll just do a 5-week spread. Each week we look at a guide or guardian, a message from source, and then a expanded message or some clarification, something to be heads up on from the tarot. This particular guide guardian deck is the Archangel Animals, and we'll see what comes forward. I have the book in case something feels blocked. So for week 1, we have the dog and Archangel Zariel. Be disciplined in your home and community life. This is setting you up in that foundation energy. This is getting those loyal partners, those supporting people who are not going to let you make wrong decisions, but they're also not going to just blow fairy dust at you. They're going to be supportive in the healthy way. And dogs are loyal companions, and that's what they're saying is the people who've been with you through thick and thin are the ones that you know you can trust. So when things become too heavy, when that burden starts to bow the rod, it's time to ask for some support. What can I do? What's going on? What are you seeing that I'm not? Because a lot of times when you're in the middle of something, you don't see what's going on. You're in the middle of the maelstrom. It's too much happening at one time. And that's where having those loyal energies outside. And Archangel Zariel, I'm getting this feeling that he is there to help support you to see things more clearly, but also help you to understand when someone is coming in to remind you of something. It's not saying that it's negative. It's just more of a tap on the shoulder, like, you might want to listen to that one. So your message from source is fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites and extremes of life. This is that trust energy that works with the dog energy as well. This is where you have to trust fall with the universe. There's times where you're not going to be able to see the end game or the steps to the end game. You are looking at end over here, but there's this black chasm in front of you. That's where you have to trust that the universe knows what it's doing. That's the goal, blank, and you're over here. So you have to step off, and that's not always the most comfortable thing. And they're saying that this, if you are looking to start your own business, or if you are looking to expand something you already started on, this is where that nervous feeling, that am I doing the right thing energy is coming in. Am I going to make this work? I'm nervous. What if I propose to this person and they reject me? That's where you have to fall into the arms of the universe. That's what they're saying is, this is that trust, knowing you've laid the foundation. At this point, anything happens outside of that, that's on the other person. You've done your work, fire. So your message from the tarot is number 14, Solutions with Archangel Zadkiel, a lot of Z's. Success that comes from objective compromise, self-control, patience, forgiving and healing energy. This is a call for balance and seeking out proper guidance is what I'm hearing. This is where you look to the end game. You're not looking at the problem, because the problem is just going to get bigger the more you give attention to it. You're falling into the arms of the universe, which is not comfortable. The universe is like, I've got you. I've had you before. I'll have you this time. I'm going to have you in the future. Let's do this together. The energy of Solutions with Archangel Zadkiel is saying, when those times are challenging, when you're not really sure, there could be a call, again, general reading here, there could be a call to do some inner work, do some inner healing. Instead of focusing on how bad the situation is, or how stressful it is, or how much fear, doubt, nervousness, all of that that's building, this is where we trust the universe and we align with that higher frequency, thus taking us out of the darkness and looking at the solution instead of the problem. So our second week, we have the Kingfisher, being patient and focused, with Archangel Bakpi. I'm not familiar with his angel, but the Kingfisher energy is, if you've ever watched one of them hunt, it is the most fascinating thing, because they will sit there on a branch for a period of time, staring at the water like there's nothing happening. Like, what are you doing? You're just staring. And then all of a sudden, they take off like a bullet and come up with a fish. This is what they're saying, is staying focused and being patient. This energy coming in the second week is, the first week, you're laying your foundation, you're getting everything together, you're getting those loyal friends, the ones that are the most supportive, but also the most honest with you, to circle in around. It doesn't have to be a literal thing, just more like checking who you've got around you. But the second week, this is where you have to make sure that your destination is clear. What are you looking to build in the month of April, fire? And they're saying, even if this is not the completion of a bigger project, stay focused on what you want to accomplish this month. The winds are in your favor as long as you're paying attention, and that's what the Kingfisher's doing, is watching. Maybe not that fish, maybe not that fish, that's the one. Then you take that action when it strikes correctly. And that's the energy coming in the second week, is really staying focused on what it is you're after. Be patient. Just because one door opens doesn't mean it's always the exact right one. Sometimes you have to poke around a little bit. Sometimes those doors open up and they're haunted. So you want to make sure you're going through the right door. Your message from Source is, you got the love. Honduran energy, codependency, and boundaries. You're not walking this path alone, fire. The God Source Divine is saying, you got the love. You are the one who is being smiled upon. All this, everyone, every human being is being smiled upon. Right now, there's a special light being shown on fire, is what I'm hearing. In the second week, your call to be patient, stay focused, is because everything is going to work out. Trusting God Source Divine is what they're saying right now. It's not going to be the easiest month. Even the I-ching said there's going to be some things that have to bump along here. But overall, the outcome is going to be beneficial as long as you're staying focused, you're staying patient. And they're saying, I'm hearing really, anyway, that this is also a time for you to reconnect. If you've been a little lax in the spiritual practice, the second week, helping you connect back in and feel that God Source Divine energy whether it's really upfront or if it's just more subtle, giving you some peace. The second week, that's part of staying patient and staying focused, is being able to reconnect up. That way you don't have to worry so much about what's going on around you. That's interesting. Your message from the tarot is number 15, Decisions, which is also the death card in the original tarot. With Archangel Jovial, release yourself from that which holds you back, a need for detox, unnecessary worry based on self-confidence, lack of self-confidence. Not death card, devil card. Sorry, it's your shadow energy. So your energy that's coming forward with this is really calling you to make the decision to release those things that are not helping you. When we connect in with God Source Divine with that you got the love energy, it's bringing you into alignment through prayer, through meditation, through spiritual practice. And when that happens, a decision has to be made. The second week is a little bit more of an internal week for you. The first week was a little bit more focusing on the outside world, seeing what you've got going on there. And in the second week, this is turning back inside. This is being patient, getting that focus clear, connecting in with God's Source Divine. And they're saying that the second week of April could trigger some things that you are ready to release, something that you may not have been thinking that you were even dealing with. But the second week could be a little emotionally tense, but that's part of that, the rod bends before and doesn't break. This is where you're at. It's because you have to let go of some things. There's some baggage that's coming up right here, and they're wanting to emphasize this is past relationships. This is past heart hurting. That's the words they're using, is heart hurting. So this is a time to see what's going on there and let it go. But remember, God's Source Divine has got your back. You are being, a very gentle light is being shown on you right now, which is uplifting. So allow those decisions and things to pass away because they no longer serve you. Your third week's energy is the goat. Act from your innate wisdom, Archangel Prelemic, and Pan, the god of nature. This is a little bit about being stubborn, and in this third week I'm hearing being a little bit stubborn is a good thing. But you also have to remember that goats, they're able to do a lot of things that should defy physics. I mean, they've got suction cups on their feet to a certain extent. Don't come for me. They actually have little cupped feet. So they can climb, they can jump, they can do a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense in the real world. But acting from your innate wisdom, there's so much wisdom in the fact that they trust where they're going to land. I've watched mountain goats jump around in the mountains since I was a child, and it always baffles me how they don't fall. I'm sure they do, we just don't see it. But when you know that they are trusting where they leap, they trust their abilities, they don't have to question it. And that's what this is saying, is in this third week, there could be a call for you to take that leap. This third week is about outward energy. Again, first week outward, second week inward, third week outward. And so you're doing things because you've connected into God's Source Divine. You've lightened that load with releasing in that second week. So this third week, this is where you start to take that divinely inspired action. It's the part 2 of the law of attraction. The first one is, setting the intentions. The second one is the divine inspired action. And that's where you're at in this third week, is follow your intuition, follow your inner guidance. What is inspiring you? What is sparkling for you to go towards? That's that God Source Divine inspiration. So your message from Source is double mission. Light worker, starseed, serving the world by being you. This is where you step into your authority, stepping into your power. God Source Divine wants you to know when you take those leaps, when you put your hand out and say, you know what, I'm going to trust you on this one, let's do this. And you step into that void, knowing that your shadow has already been sorted for the moment. It's a lifelong thing. You're never getting rid of that thing. It's always going to be there. But when you make it into an associate, they're dragging things up saying, here's next, and you work with your shadow, it actually makes it a lot gentler of a transition. And this double mission, you're working towards your own end game. You're working towards your goals. That's mission 1. Mission 2 is, by doing it in an ethical, amoral, a divinely spiritually guided way, You are living an example for other people to witness with you. And that's the important thing, is you're not by yourself in this, nor are you in a vacuum. Others are watching, and how you respond to the hiccups, the ups and downs, those shifts, those things that may not be the most comfortable to deal with. Other people are watching you. So when you go through the trials, it's all right to be frustrated. It's all right to be upset in the moment, but you don't stay there. And that's what they're wanting to remind you of. Fire, you've done a great deal of growth, of spiritual maturation, and I don't care where you're at. This could be your first video. This could be 20 years into your path. You have matured to this point. Are you done? No. But look how far you've come already, and that's the example being set. That's your second mission. You, as a spiritual being, are making these steps, and you are making these changes in your own life, but it's inspiring others to do something similar for their lives. The Ace of Ariel is from the tarot. It is your lucky day, new resources of money, time, or support, a change in job or promotion. This is where you start to see the results. The goat is saying, do your actions. The Ace of Ariel is saying, your actions are going to receive rewards, but you have to follow that in divine inspiration. This is, the I-ching talks about one path leading to meh, not hurting you, not benefiting you, but the other path, planting those seeds and seeing growth and expansion. This is the week where you make those decisions. That second week is where you're sorting through why you might be picking the wrong path. This week is saying, if you've picked the right path, you're going to start seeing those rewards almost immediately. They're not saying exactly what that is. You'll know. So that's all they're going to say on that, which is interesting. Your fourth week is the eagle. Seize the opportunities courageously with Archangel Bakpi. Eagles fly above their problems. Eagles do not meddle in the storm. They fly above it. You, through the process of this month, have learned, or at least processed in some way, shape, or form, to remove the storm. And if you can't remove it, then you rise above it. That's where you're connecting into God's source divine. That's where you're connecting in to that higher frequency. You understand that your mission is not just this physical goal you're after. It's also that spiritual example that you're setting for others, whether that's children, your spouse, your friends, strangers who you don't even know, who for some reason are observing you right now, healthy wise, not creepy wise. But the eagle doesn't concern themselves with what other people are doing. The eagle flies and soars and moves beyond. That's what they're saying, is this fourth week, this is where you move beyond. It's no longer about, I have to do all these things because fill in the blank. I'm going to take the next steps as they show up. That is the healthy thing to do. You have moved beyond the stress and the concern. Now, is it gone forever? No, we're human. We're going to find reasons to stress and worry. That's just what we do. But you're able to process it differently. I'm hearing, if you've ever worked with the tarot, the magician card, you've got the tools. You know how to get above this or work through it. That's what the eagle's calling you to do. Use the gifts that you've been given. Use those tools. Move beyond the situation and elevate into that higher frequency. Your message from Source is the portal. Doors are opening. You decide rewards and a wild card. Fire, you're the wild card. No one knows what you're doing next. As you move beyond, with this eagle energy, you're rising above. That's allowing you to step through the portal. The decision that you made in the second week, or the decision process that began in the second week, is concluding in this week. This is where you see that's the past. You can't go back there anymore, which is a good thing most of the time. This is your new future. Did you make the right choice? Are there seeds being planted? Is there prosperity, fruit, and abundance coming? Or did you take the more path where nothing really changed? Nothing was really any different. And now you've got to figure out a new way to move forward. You're the only one that can know this. And it's not saying that it's negative. It's just saying one way is the accelerated path. Sometimes that's a little more rough. The other way is the slower path, but you're a little more comfortable with it. That comfort zone energy. But the portal is saying this is when that door is finalized. So this fourth week is when you are making those final decisions, or whether consciously or subconsciously, that decision is being made this week. So your message from the tarot is the 8 of Raphael. There is something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right, a spiritual quest. The tarot wants you to understand you're the one that makes these decisions. God, Source, Divine can literally throw everything out in front of you. They can lay out the golden carpet. They can literally put neon arrows pointing at the correct door. But you're the one that makes this decision. You're the one that has to decide, do I want that better thing that I have to climb for? Or is this one over here all right? The one that's just kind of meh. The energy this 4th week is you're the one making the decisions, and this week the decision will be made one way or another. The outcome... Oh, I don't like that word. They're saying that the outcome from this is fated. Whatever you decide in this 4th week, this is what you're going to have going forward. And they're not saying it's going to be good, bad, and different. This is up to you to make the decision. And what you do with the outcome of this is up to you. But this is when that process, like the ball going downhill, at this point you can't stop it. It's going to hit a conclusion one way or another. But they're saying that the ball's in your court, so make the decision count. So our last week is the donkey. Keep your heart open no matter what. Applicable. Archangels Mary and Archangel Gabriel. It's Holy Mother Mary, but okay. When we work with this energy, we're working with energy of water. We're working with the energy of the heart chakra. We're working with the energy of emotions. Archangel Gabriel, in a lot of modern pulp culture, is this warrior angel. In biblical texts, they usually point Gabriel towards a messenger. Both are true, but both are not true. In my experience with Gabriel, she is the one that helps us understand our emotional states, how to process all of this energy. Donkeys can be the most gentle, sweet creatures, but can be the biggest pains in the rear end that you'll ever meet. They are so nice, but when they get a mood, an emotion, they're all over the place. And when we have this divine feminine energy with Archangel Gabriel and Mother Mary, we've got this feminine aspect that's calling us to open our heart. The donkey's message of keep your heart open no matter what is saying, what you have worked and built this month now is kind of set in stone. Doesn't mean you can't add some more carving to it, but it's set going forward. The doorway to your past is now closed, and the pathway ahead of you is laid bare. The donkey is saying, whichever path you chose, keep your heart open, keep the messages and that connection, that spiritual bond very strong, because by doing that, even if the path wasn't quite the one you were anticipating, it doesn't mean it's bad. What it means is you just might have to take a couple extra steps to get where you're headed. But that's why we go through those dark nights. That's why we deal with the shadow. When we can process and be honest with ourselves and listen to other people being honest with us as well, it changes how we show up. But it also changes how we perceive the world around us. Archangel Gabriel wants you to know, gaze to the setting sun. Release what needs to be released. If tears need to fall, allow them to fall. That is healthy. That is healing. There is strength in admitting you don't always have to be the strong one. I'm hearing very loudly that there's several of you right now that always have had to be the strong one. You've always had to be the one that stepped up. You've always had to be the one, I can't let anyone see weakness. That's fine. They know. Take some time alone and allow yourself to have those feelings. Allow those emotions, especially this last week of April, to come forward. Doesn't mean you have to wallow in them. Let them out. When they're out, they're gone. You'll always have the lesson. You'll always have that memory, but the emotional burden is released. So you cannot make these things up. Your message from Source is the void. Stop, embrace the winter, the great cosmic womb. When we allow our emotions free, when we curl up in that ball and just let our feelings go, it's not the most comfortable thing, but when you wrap yourself in the blanket of the void, it's actually comforting because there's no one to judge. There's no one to look down on you. You can let any negative emotions, giggling, whatever you have to let go of, you can let it out there because there's no one there to watch. It is a safe place to let go of those less than pleasant emotions. I'll straight up say some of the negative and dark emotions, depression, anxiety, things like that, come forward when you're doing healing. That's just part of the process, unfortunately. But when you let them just go out to the void, they're no longer your concern. And that's what they're saying. With Gabriel and the donkey and Mother Mary coming forward, let it go. Your heart is open. The choices have been made. They're not bad. The I-ching specifically said there's really not a bad path. One, quick acceleration. One, a little slower. The void's saying, give me your darkness. I will take it from you. You can bask in the quietness as long as you need, and then you're going to move forward healthy, stopping, embracing the winter where everything's quiet. If you've ever been outside in the middle of a snowstorm, just the gentle snow, not like blizzard, it's dead silent. It's peaceful. The noises are all muted. And in the void, that great cosmic womb, everything's muted. You can feel yourself. You can understand yourself in a better way. What you do with that information is up to you. Wrapping this one up, we have the 9 of Ariel. Your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to success. A love for the beautiful things in life. No matter what the outcome of your decisions this month, no matter what the outcome of your path, things are going to work out for the best. Whether you chose to take a more slow and gentle path, whether you decided to climb that mountain as fast as you could, the 9 of Ariel is saying no matter which decision you made the decision for your best interests. You made the decision with the blessing of your guides, guardians, God, Source, Divine. It may not be exactly what you wanted at the beginning of the month by the end, but it's what you needed in that moment, and that's what they want you to be very understanding of. God, Source, Divine is here to guide, to help, and to support. It's not quite the genie in the lamp like a lot of us like to think sometimes. It's that's the path. It's that divinely inspired decision making. And that's what's coming up this month. Fire, no matter what goes on, follow your intuition. Work with your guides, guardians, and God, Source, Divine. Tap into your spirituality. Reconnect with it, whether that's reading the Bible, going to church, tarot cards, whatever it is, how you connect. Work with that energy and allow it to expand within and outside of you. There's a lot of in and out this month. Inside work, outside work. Overall, God, Source, Divine is saying you are blessed with a divine gift this month, Fire. Take that gift, see what you can create with it. And if you enjoyed this reading, please drop a like. Of course, I have to talk about my channel for a second. Subscribe if you're new here, and leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. But in reality, and to wrap this up, God, Source, Divine is here to support us, to encourage us, and to help us along our path. Tarot cards, I-ching, runes, whatever it is you listen to or use, they are here to help give us some insight, maybe point us in a different direction, give us that little tap upside the head that we sometimes need. Use those tools and whatever other tools you have, because this month, Fire, it's all about your growth and your success.